So we're doing a playtest of Black Sun. This is the Cedar Rapids scenario number 1 from our mini campaign. I've shown you the length of the whole board, BC setup, and the Americans. So the Americans have their setup area. They're coming on the board with the standard setup area, 6 inches in. In this scenario, the VC to set up in the middle third of the board, which we have nicely staked out by our 2-foot square panels, and they are in the middle section set up, and we're ready to start playing. The American player Howard is going to roll his activation. 5. He gets a 5.
All elements.
And we're going to lead on the table what elements are activated.
This element. Move the team, the assault gun team, into a position to cover the road. Heavy weapons team to cover the road.
Okay, so are you walking or running?
Stop it.
Element number 1.
Element number 1 is moving.
Is running. Run. So he takes roll 3D. Run. So he takes roll 3d6. Take the 2 highest. He can go 8 inches.
Okay. We can get to at least there. This guy. I'll move him over. This guy can go to about there.
So while he's doing that, all our bushes are considered concealment. They provide a -1 concealment modifier as provided in the rules. That's the machine gun. I thought you wanted him to go the other way. This guy is the machine gun. So he's keeping them within 2 inches of each other so that they maintain their coherence, their group coherency. And the machine gun team is going to move in a position to set up to fire down the road. And the top is staying where he is. Mm-hmm. So it's now the VC reaction. The VC have not spotted the American figures yet because there's been no spotting rolls, and you can't start your turn with a spot. Therefore, the VC cannot react to this one element moving. So the Americans will now get their second action, and they only have one element activated, so they will move the same element. So this element is declaring a run. Howard, go ahead. And he rolls 9. He rolls 3d6, taking the 2 highest. He can go 9 inches.
So this section.
So the heavy weapons team is going to set up the machine gun.
Correct. And then everyone else is going to run 9.
No, so he can go through that at half speed if you want him to go. So it would take 4 inches to go through that.
Okay.
And he would just clear through that one. That one we've set, so that's concealment that's movable through. However, we have said we do have these scatter terrain CDs that you can see that we've called these impassable, and they block line of sight in our game. And that was agreed upon by the players prior to the start of the game. Now Howard is lining up in behind. He's got a little bit of cover from this little mogul hill that is a piece of our terrain, which we've called that cover. We had that discussion before the game started as well, which you can see the palm trees. So Howard's happy. He's done his second action for his first turn. So the VC player is now going to roll his standard activation on the standard activation chart. He rolls a 6. So his first result is a what the. Going through the what the section, there's a whole bunch of things happens, but of course the first thing that we all want to see is what actually happens. I rolled a 10, which is a bad reaction. A random figure makes a run move towards the enemy, shooting blindly at them. Fun.
Fun.
So when we pick a random figure, we're rolling on the choose a figure chart, which is the same as in Flint and Feather. Rolled a 5 is player picks the figure. So I can pick. I will roll a run move for my random figure that's attacking. He rolls a 5, taking the 2 highest is a 5, and it's going to be that figure in the crater. Not that one, but the brown one with the SMG is runs 5 inches out, and then he's going to try to shoot.
Nothing to shoot.
And he hasn't spotted anybody, so that's his move. Done. And you can't really see him because. So now, as you go through the game, a medicine roll on the first turn is not that. Should I go through explain all this? You'd have to check every wounded figure. We don't have any wounded figures at this point because the game has just started. I'm allowed to move 1 element, 1 action. I also have to make a frag check against my leaders, or against a leader. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaders. So we'll roll a d6 randomly to determine a 1 through 5. So the 4th leader. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Corporal Negan Kwok Bing has a frag index of 1. So you can see the frag index on his card. He needs to roll. If he rolls a 1 or less, they will shoot him. He rolled a 5. Nobody. Everybody loves him this turn. So that's the frag index, how that works when it comes up in the game. Okay. But you only roll 1 leader each time.
Why didn't I roll?
You didn't roll a what the. This is a what the special what the events. Okay, so now I can pick 1 element and move that element.
Because I have nothing to see or shoot at.
Correct. And now the scenario specific rules say that I'm have to spot and shoot before I can leave.
Correct.
So I will activate this group here. They will make a spotting roll because these guys aren't open, but they'd be considered concealed because there's terrain in between them. However, they're not in cover. If they were absolutely, if like that would be in cover, I would say these guys would be in cover from somebody spotting over there. These guys would be in cover from somebody spotting over there, but the spotting is actually coming in this way, so we can see people in the open. So spotting in the open, there is a spotting table, observation table. So in open, actually, and we called you concealed because there's so we call him concealed because there's intervening terrain, and then is the target running?
Yes.
So it's a +2. Are you walking? No. Is spotter in ambush? I am in ambush, so that's +3. And the spotter walked. Should be plus. Spotter walked. No, that's a -1. I didn't walk. I haven't done anything yet. So I'm at like a 4 + 3 is 7, so it's an automatic spot. So I can spot that guy walking in, even though there's terrain intervening. Does that make sense?
Spot
Follow
that guy
that?
running.
Well, it starts out as a 4.
I was running.
Target running, that makes it 6 or less, and the spotter is an ambush is 7 or less.
Okay.
Okay? So it's an automatic spot. So these guys have been spotted. Now the way these guys have been spotted. So the way the spotting rules works is that now they can tell in their next action, the rest of the figures will be told, hey, there's... So the VC player will react by shooting at the figures, American US Army figures that he just spotted. So I have bolt action rifles, a mix of bolt action rifles, semi-automatics, a pistol, and a machine gun. So I need to count up the dice. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 4, 5, 6 bolt action rifles. So if I look on my card, a bolt action rifle, you can see it there, has a range of 36 inches. So do you want to measure the range, or we're well under 36 inches?
Is it 18?
The damage is +2, and stationary they get 2 dice. So each figure will get 2 dice, and the squad fighting value is 3, which we see there. So how many guys did I count?
6.
6 guys get 2 dice each, so I'm going to get 12 dice for 3s or less. And now these are just regular squaddies, so they are not going to get to choose a target. It will just be a random who they hit. So there's a 1. Lots of 4s and 5s in here. Oh, and the other thing is that you also get concealment So actually concealment is -1. So I actually need 1s and 2s. So this is a whole real bad roll because I've got
it's
1
low.
hit.
Okay, 1 hit.
All right. So now we roll to see who that hit was on, and it's random. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. There's a D8. So 8 guys. We rolled a 2, so it's the second guy who got hit. Now we roll to see how bad the hit is. So there's a small arms chart, and it's a +2, except that the Americans are wearing flak vests. No, it's 1d6. The flak, it's +2 and then -1 for the flak vest. So you're gonna roll a d6 and add 1. And he rolled a 2, so that becomes a 3, which is a pinned.
Pinned, may not move, but may fire.
So figure number 2 is pinned. We put a pin marker behind him, marking him being pinned. He can shoot, but he can't move, and it takes a whole action of not doing anything to remove the pin marker. That can be his next action if the player owning the figure so determines. So we're going to shoot our assault rifles now. The sergeant has assault rifle. He gets 3 dice. There's assault rifle here, but his line of sight is blocked because you can't fire through your own figures. You can't fire through your own figures, so he cannot fire. So this guy on the front line is going to get 3 dice. The pistol is over 12-inch range, so it can't hit. And then the only thing that's going to be left is going to be the machine gun, which is going to be able to fire through there. The machine gun. The only thing that's going to be left is the machine gun, which is going to be able to fire through there. So assault rifle for 3d6. Now that's a sergeant. He's going to be the same as this. He's a 4. His fighting value is a 4, so he's going to need 4s or less with 3 dice. Oh, a -1 because of the cover. So the 4 will actually be a miss, and a 2 and a 3 will be a hit. So that's 2 hits. He can actually choose his target, and he will choose a target because all tops and bosses can choose their target. So he's going to choose the blooper guy. So you're going to roll 2. You can roll 2 wounds on the blooper guy. Assault rifle gets a +2. Oh, good roll. He rolls snake eyes. And it's a +2 -1 for the flak vest.
Okay.
So it becomes a 2. So look on the 2 chart. Pinned, right?
Yeah.
So target is pinned. So we'll put a pin. So my machine gun's now going to fire. It is set up because it's going to start the game set up. It's going to roll 6 dice. And moving, and it's going to be a +4 on the damage. So we're going to roll 6 dice, and machine gunner has an FV of 3, as you can see by the card here. So he's going to need 1s and 2s because you're -1 because you're in cover. So there's 1 hit. And that's it.
It's terrible.
So 1 hit from the machine gun is he's a +4, but you're -1 for the flak vest. So it's a 1d6 +3 on the small arms fire. So 3 becomes 6. So if you want to look on the 6 chart for a 6.
Out of action.
So out of action.
Oh,
so
6.
6, sorry.
1 CV.
-1 CV. So that's going to be a random roll to determine. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. So we'll roll a D8. We rolled a 5. So the 5th guy gets a -1 CV wound. So now, sorry, that's a -1 FV wound. So his fighting value is now 1 less. So every time you fire that guy, instead of a 3, because the squad's fighting value is 3, he's going to need 2s, and then that can be modified for concealment and cover and so on. All right? Any questions? So now it's the U.S. player's reaction. My 1 element has done their 1 movement, which is all I'm allowed to do in a what does situation. Because if you remember, I rolled a 6 on activation. That's a what the. So now you get to react to that. So if we go to the spotting rules, firing causes automatic spot. So
I spotted you automatically.
So yes, so in this instance, the American player has now spotted us because they're receiving fire from there. So they can react. Reaction is different than activation. Activation you do when you're the active player, which you are not right now. You are reacting. When you're doing a reaction, you have to roll less than the FV of the best figure in your group. Now, I would almost, was your intention here to keep this?
They're supposed to be within.
The intention here was to keep this as one group.
Yeah, I could put that guy there.
Something like that. So that everybody is kosher.
Or maybe like that. That would do it.
So,
They're still good.
it's one group. The best guy in the group is probably your top, who is a, if you look at the top, his FB is a 4.
And only this unit can react.
They're the only ones that have spotted anybody, right? Automatic. So they can probably try, because it's an automatic sighting. Those guys, I would say, no, they can't spot.
They can't see anything.
Sorry, I should be pointing out. Those guys would be no, they can't spot. This squad could probably automatically spot the fire, even though it wasn't at them. So,
But this is the best group to spot. Because
but it doesn't matter. Each one has to act to react. Each group has to make an FV roll. Not like an activation where you roll 1 for your whole
Okay, so I'm
your
just...
whole army. This is you roll for, you're reacting, so you have to roll for each group.
So this group first then?
Yes, or each element. We're using that word right now. So and they roll under the FV of the best guy. So you need to look at your sergeant. What's his FV? Which is, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be 4. Casey Bruce, he's going to be his FV's a 4. So you're going to roll 1d6 for a 4 or less. And he rolled a 1, so that group is definitely active. Now, what would you like to do as a reaction? Now, remember, anything you're shooting, and when you're reacting and you're shooting, all your shooting is going to be at a -1 automatically. I'm going to be in concealment, so you're going to be at -2.
Can they shoot again?
They normally they could, because I rolled a what the, one element gets 1 action. Whereas remember, most times you get 2 actions when you're the active player.
So-
I messed up because I rolled a 6. I'm only going to get 1 action.
So I could use this to recover these.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I'll do.
So their action is to remove their pin markers, so
Right.
they're done.
You hold
No,
yours?
those two guys are done. What would the other guys like to do?
Well, these could shoot back, I guess.
Yes, but remember, you're going to be at a -2 right off the hop because you're reacting and I'm in concealment, right? Because these guys are all in bushes and
So
such.
that means I'm -2 on my roll.
You're going to be -2s to shoot anything. So you're going to be 1. You're going to need 1s. I mean, you can do it. I'm not saying don't do it. But
And
I'm
each
just
of these
telling
rolls,
you
how many?
3 dice if you remain stationary.
Not those 2. So I'm not going to move. He can't. He can't.
Yeah,
but
because they can't shoot through their own players.
4 could move, could shoot.
Yeah.
He's supporting him, right? Because he's the
He still
loader.
gets his own.
So that's 5.
Yeah.
What's there? How many dice? 3?
3.
And him?
He would be 6 dice, but you have to roll him separately because he's +4 damage instead of
Right.
+2. So we
And
do him separately.
I set him up last turn. The last part of my turn, I set him up.
Yeah, you spend an action
Because
setting
I
up.
went,
Yeah.
remember I moved 1 and moved him up,
Yeah.
and then the second action. So I'm going to shoot just for the fun of it.
Okay, this
So
is probably
it's
gonna be
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So you get
1, 2,
15
3.
dice for this
1,
for the
2.
assault rifles, right?
Yes, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And none of them, they're all random because there's no tops or bosses firing.
Right.
So we might as well just roll them all together. And
it's
they all
looking-
need 1.
ones. So I'm going to hopefully I get 1 or 2 ones. I actually got 5
Oof.
ones
Did quite well.
on that. Can I
Okay,
just
so
go
pull
ahead
the other dice out.
and I can just do my machine gun straight away?
Yeah, but you need different colored dice or something, so we'll keep them separate.
And how many he gets? 8?
You get 6.
He gets 6.
So maybe use the 3 reds and the 3 whites.
3 reds and the 3 whites for
And
that.
he's looking for 1s as well.
He got 1.
So put the 1 red die out so we know that that's a...
That's the machine gun. So,
Okay, so now you're going to roll who you hit.
Right.
So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So duckbacks and pins. So pins affect morale. The wounds, people don't have to check morale from fire unless there's a gory death.
Right.
Grenades cause a morale check. Mortar fires cause a morale check.
Okay.
because it's a concussive. Anytime a concussive, as you can see, it's a separate chart. Anytime a concussive hits, it causes a automatic morale check.
Okay.
So if you were to now throw a grenade in there, now grenades can only go 8 inches, but yeah, that guy.
That guy would have helped.
Yeah. All right. So we're ready to. Last guy in the squad is the. Do you have a sergeant with that squad, or a top, or a boss? Or you have a boss or a top? What's his? He's the guy with his arm out. Next card over. That guy.
He's a 4.
So he has an FB of 4. So you need a 4 or less
to react.
To react to my turn. He rolled a 6. They do not react. Now you see the difference between a 6 in the reaction and a 6 in your activation. A 6 in your activation
is good.
Causes a what the,
yes,
which was, as you remember, was the guy random charge over there.
Right.
Whereas a 6 in your reaction doesn't cause that.
Yeah.
It's just a fail, just a blown roll. So not quite as deadly as a what the, or sometimes a what the good things can happen.
Yeah.
Like that's the end of turn 1. The BC squad has taken a lot of hits, but nobody's died, and the American hunkered down, ready to shoot.
Rendezvous at 3212.
Go ahead. So Howard's activating for turn 2. He's the active player. He rolls a 6 and he gets a what the.
Yeah, I do.
So there's a what the chart, because of course everybody wants to roll first because it's so much fun. It's probably on the back of it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
And you're rolling a D10. The what the chart has been replaced by what the cards.
10.
And he rolls a 10 too. The cards.
10.
And he rolls a 10 too.
Bad reaction. Random figure. Roll a D6.
Yep. So Howard is rolling to see which figure is affected by the what the. He rolls a 5. Its owning player picks the figure. So he's going to pick one of his figures to randomly have a bad reaction and charge towards the enemy firing. Which figure would you like, Howard? The blooper? I wouldn't suggest that.
Why?
Well, the blooper, as we talked about, is concussive, and it's good to stand around and shoot. He has a minimum range of 9 inches, too, so you don't want to charge him in shooting. You want to charge...
I will pick
because that's
this
a very,
guy.
very good thing. Another thing is you wouldn't want to charge with your MG because your MG wouldn't get to fire, right? So those are the kind of figures you don't want to have to choose. Whereas if I was picking...
This guy.
Whereas if I was picking, I would probably pick one of those guys, forcing you to run your MG guy forward, which you'd be all mad at me for.
So I'm going to run this guy.
Yeah, there's a guy hiding behind the palm tree there on our camera view.
3d6, pick the 2 highest. 10. This guy was on the smoke. Here he is.
And so he has an assault rifle. So as you know, running with an assault rifle gets 1d6. He is shooting at guys in cover, so he's going to be -1. He rolled a 4 and he missed.
Okay. Makes
so
sense.
Now the other thing you have to do is, because you roll a what, that you have to check all wounded figures. You have 1 wounded figure. You need to roll a d6. You don't want a 1.
Yeah.
You don't. Sorry. Yes, you do want a 1.
Okay.
I'll put that back. I didn't get it. You rolled a 1, which actually means that his wound isn't as bad as they thought it was. So he brushes the dirt off and recovers. So you can take your -1 wound marker off the gentleman.
Oh, it's good to record that.
Now,
It's
if
unusual.
if he had rolled a 5 or a 6, then the wound would actually be worse than it was. And we would put a -2 marker on him instead of a -1.
Got it.
And if you rolled anything at 2 to 5, then that's nothing.
Nothing happened.
It just stays the same. Okay, and then the final thing you do is you can move 1 element or 1 group for 1 action. Which group would you like to move?
I have
to
move
activate.
Or I can act. Is it activate?
You can activate 1 group or element.
I'm going to activate this group to shoot.
Okay, so they're not going to move at all. They're just going to pour some fire down the table.
Pour some fire down.
Now, I have a question. Were they within 36 inches? Do you think they are?
I think they are because
Probably, because this
36
is a
inches-
2-foot board. So
Yeah.
yeah, they got lots of space, right?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So you've got 6 figures.
18.
So that's 18 dice, and you're rolling for. Oh, sorry, that's wrong because that guy's a blooper.
Okay, so
That guy's a 40mm grenade launcher, so you're going to roll him separately.
you just
So
rolled
you've
1
got
dice.
he rolls 1 die, and
The blooper's the red dice.
so you want to, and then you're okay, and all the rest are. So the blooper is a red die, and all the rest of the dice are assault rifles.
They are.
Yep, they all look like it. But this guy looks like he is he the sergeant?
Who is the sergeant? Yeah.
So he's actually a 4,
So
which
I
can be
roll-
the green dice. So the green dice are going to
Yep.
be for 3s or less.
Right.
The blue dice are going to be for 2s or less, and the blooper needs a 1 or a 2 to hit. I don't know if I covered all that. on the thing, but
So the blooper, misses. This guy needs
6 needs a 1, 2, or 3. Yep. So that's 2 hits
2
from
hits. So that's no good.
the sergeant.
And these are 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
So there's 3. There we
So
go.
3 hits from the assault rifles.
Right.
So pull these dice out, and then so you're gonna roll a D. How many guys did I have?
8. 12. 12.
So that's the yellow one.
There we go.
So which one are you gonna roll first?
Is
He
that the
missed, right?
blooper?
He missed. We actually have to do him special, so leave that. He actually has to roll a deviation.
Okay. So let's do these two.
Yeah.
First one. Number 6. He's
Number
already got
6.
2 hits on him.
Oh no. So sorry. So you did that wrong. So this is the sergeant. He can choose his target. So he can either put one of these on 2 different guys, or he can hit one guy twice. But he's the sergeant. His benefit is he gets to choose which
I
guy.
can choose your leader.
So you could choose the lead. There's an FO in here. You don't really know. I don't know. There's a machine gun. There's a sergeant. Which one would you like to hit?
Well, I like to hit the FO.
Okay,
If I
twice or
can. Twice, yeah, why not?
so you're gonna roll 2 hits on the FO.
A 6 and a 3.
Now they become +2, right? So it becomes an 8 and a 5.
And the 8's nothing, right? An 8, oh no, an 8 is -2.
And
And
a
a
5.
5 is a duck back.
So he ducks back with a -2. So -2 wound. He
Yeah,
ducks
yeah.
back with a -2 wound. It's a red white one.
That's what I thought I had, but I didn't. Oh, it's the red base,
Red
that
base.
one. Yeah.
So he gets a -2 wound.
And the duck back.
He's ducked back. His pistol is pointing to the rear now.
And then I have 1 assault. This one first.
So you rolled a 6. So we'll use the
Oh,
6.
we can use the 6, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the guy with the assault rifle. You can either roll again randomly, or yeah, we can
Let's just
distribute
keep
the
doing
things.
4.
4 and roll again. 4 is the FO again,
And 3.
and 3 is the machine gunner. You like Deadeye Howard here.
How is that happening?
Okay, so which one would you like to roll first? You got the machine gunner's first one in line, so
Let's do that.
he's 6 plus 2 is 8.
That's
It's gonna be a
2.
-2 wound. Well, that's -1. I can use it as a -2 because all the white ones are -2. So he's pinned and he has a -2 wound. All right. Roll the next guy. That's the FO again.
Same
He's
thing.
dead. You've managed to kill the FO and totally shut out the mortars. Boo hiss.
Lucky man.
And the last one is the assault
1.
rifle at the back.
That's
Rolls a
nothing.
1
He's
plus
okay.
2 is
Oh.
3.
Pinned.
So he becomes pinned.
You push it on the 1 because I'm not sure.
And
Of course,
This
that
guy
opens
becomes
me up
pinned.
To spotting automatically from that.
Yep.
That sucks, doesn't it?
Well, you fired them last turn anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your one action with one element. So the blooper, your target, a d6 and a direction die.
4 this way, nothing.
Yeah. So that'll be.
You okay with that?
Yep. So that'll be a miss
A miss.
because it's actually a 2-inch radius. So that completes Howard's turn. He's no longer the active player. He had one element that did one action. The VC player gets to react to that, and then they will become the active player.
Sure.
So reaction, they can spot those guys automatically, so they can fire back with whoever's left alive. This unit could do a reaction as well because they can now see both of these units because they're spotted automatically. I believe those guys over there have nothing to react to because they wouldn't be able to see over the hill to see the shooting over here. Actually, those guys in the crater might be able to see down in here.
No.
And then these guys back here are again too far away from the action to see anything going on over there. So we will react with these two groups. So this group has a sergeant who's ducked back, but he's still the best guy in the group. So he's a 4 or less to react. So I need to roll a die. I rolled a 2, so they react. So we will go through. Yeah. Oh yeah, he could shoot over there too. All right, so this group of VC has a bolt action. This guy is pinned, but he's going to rally off the pin. This guy's going to rally off the pin, so their turn is done. They can't shoot. This guy is going to rally from a duck back. So I don't even know which way. I guess that's the way he's facing. He's facing forward. The FO is dead. So this guy can shoot. This guy could. Oh no, he can't shoot through there. This guy can shoot, and this guy can shoot, and then this guy with the light wound can shoot down here at the MG. And I think that's about it. And this guy's a duck back too. He needs to rally back. So they're all back up. And 2, 3 bolt actions will fire. That bolt action firing in cover over here is going to need -1 for the wound. He's wounded -1, and then he's in cover. It's going to be a -2, and it's a reaction. It's -3, so he actually can't even hit because he's wounded. So there's no sense in rolling him. This guy will need a 1, and this guy over here will need a 1. So bolt action is 2 dice. So and they're both just grunts. So 2 dice for 1s, 4 dice for 1s is a miss. And that will be the reaction from them. So now we will activate the other. This is a heavy weapons. This is a heavy weapons fire team with a corporal in charge. Corporal is the best. He needs a 4 or less. I rolled a 5. They do not activate. They cannot shoot back. And no one else can activate.
How about them?
They could activate. Yeah, so might as well roll them. And they've got a corporal with them as well. They need a 5 or less, or 4 or less. They rolled a 3, and they activate. I think that machine gun is definitely going to shoot down there.
He can shoot here, I think.
The SMG won't be able to shoot. The bolt action will be over 36 inches, I'm betting.
So. I think, well, we measure it.
Well, there's an RPG there. I better fire before I still can.
Which
over
is a bolt
36.
action?
That guy.
Yeah, he's okay.
So he's measuring 36 inches.
Just.
Okay, so a bolt action needs 2 dice for 3s. You're in cover. It'll be, and I'm reacting. He'll need 1s.
Okay.
And he missed. The machine gun will get 6 dice. And he'll be 1s again. Because it's -1 for you being in cover, -2 for reaction is going to be 1s. Ooh!
3 hits.
3 1s.
Where are we shooting? Here or here?
Yeah,
Here?
yeah. So he hit this group. These guys would be in cover. So these would be the only 2 viable targets. Because I only paid for concealment. I didn't pay for cover. And that's how you determine targets.
Okay.
So I got 3 guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Correct.
So front guy takes 2 hits, rear, and the machine gunner takes 1 hit. So I'll
Go
roll
for
to these to see how bad they are. Are you going to roll?
Ah, here we go.
Oh, wow, that's got to be a death. So a 10 and a 9. Is that maybe even an out of action? It is. It's out of action. So he actually roll on the out of action chart. To roll on the out of action chart, he may or may not be dead.
Okay.
And you have to actually move somebody to him and apply medic to roll on the out of action chart. So you don't roll right away,
Okay.
and he's left on the table, and you have to go check him out.
We just do that to
Yeah.
remind us.
Put an out of action marker on him. And the other guy is a 1 hit. He rolled a 6. Ooh, good rolls.
-2.
Oh, sorry. It's 6 plus 4 minus 1 for the flak vest is 3.
So he's
Is
dead too.
9. He's out of action. Ooh, good shooting. What time something good happened for the VC. Yeah, except I would say use.
It doesn't
use
matter.
one
You
of
have to
these.
roll on it, don't we?
Yeah, but I'd say use one of the, because these are the more standard ones that get used, whereas these ones are. It can be our out of action.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the MG. I'm back here, right?
Yep.
You can't shoot the RPG because the RPG can't shoot at infantry. This guy is a loader for the RPG. He doesn't get to do anything. Use a loader for the RPG. Use a loader for the RPG. And I believe that reaction done. So the VC becomes the active player. They're going to roll their activation. They rolled a 2, which is all elements.
Yep.
2 is all elements can activate. So the guys over on the far side have not spotted anybody yet. They're going to try and spot. They can't even see anybody to spot. So they're kind of stuck there doing nothing. These guys
Could they not
here.
move? Depends on the scenario rules, though.
Yeah, they could move, but the scenario says they're not allowed to until they fire at somebody.
Retreat. Not allowed to retreat.
Yeah, they're not allowed to retreat until they fire at somebody. So we'll just leave them there. These guys are firing a machine gun. I guess they're going to fire over here, right?
Would
And
make sense.
we're counting them out to fire over there.
Doesn't matter where you shoot. It's your choice right now.
But you got guys in cover here.
Yeah, and here too. These are guys are sort of in cover.
Well,
Not these guys, I guess.
They're in the open. But I would say they get concealment from this.
From there.
They get concealment. For sure concealment at least. The way the rules work. So he's going to get 6 dice for the... 6 dice for his MG. And he will fire at those guys in the open. So they'll need 1, 2, 3. He's not over 36.
2, 3, 4.
4 hits. So we're going to roll. There's 3 guys.
That you can see.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 is number 1. Sorry. So 2 take. The first guy takes 2 hits. So I rolled 2 2s. The first guy takes 2 hits. The middle guy takes 1 hit, and the back guy takes 1 hit.
Okay, go for it.
So 2 hits against the front guy. It's going to be +3. So 8 and 6. -2, -3. So he's just dead. Okay, the second guy gets 1 hit. 1 becomes a 4. Duck back, so turn him away. And the last guy is a 3, becomes a 6.
1 CV.
And he's got a 1 CV wound, and he'll put it on there.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, yellow one. Look at the 1 CV wound. Okay, so that's that. The other group, the guy's got a loader and a SMG. The SMG can only fire 24 inches, and I'm assuming that's out of range. He might be able to shoot over here. Can you measure over? He can shoot these 2 guys from there.
They can shoot in any direction.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Not him, the next one, but yeah. So he's got him. So he can shoot over there at those guys within 24. So an SMG gets 2 dice. And he's the corporal. So he needs 4s. He got 1 hit. No. Yeah, that's good enough. Be a 3 or less because you're in concealment. And a 2 SMG. My SMG hits 2 dice with a 0 damage modifier.
Pinned.
So that's pinned.
Which guy? We don't know.
Oh, got to roll. Oh, he's a corporal. He'll pick the blooper guy. He can choose his target because he's a corporal. Okay, now this unit is bugging out because they're really shot up and they want to move away. And this unit is not active and cannot see anybody. We've got a thing here that blocks line of sight, and another one that probably block line of sight too. And so it hears a lot of shooting, but it doesn't know that anybody's there. So I'm going to move these guys back and I'll record. So the VC have bugged out of that clearing and retreated back here and tried to get some cover in between them.
Because they've all fired. Them and them are the only ones that can't get away.
So these guys are going to leave because the scenario objective is that each section you get off the board is worth a scenario point towards winning. Correct? That's the objective.
Get off the board.
And I'm just saving them for another day.
Right. They fight in the next scenario as additional troops.
So I'm trying to do as much damage. So actually I think I'm going to fire those guys down.
Sounds like a plan.
I think I'm actually going to fire those guys at you. And they will roll. So the machine gunner will roll 6 dice. And who have I got?
You should have.
I can't see any of those guys, right?
You can see these.
I can shoot the guys in cover.
You can shoot these.
They would be in. These guys would be in cover. Those guys would be in concealment. I think behind the hedge there. So I think I'll fire at those guys because it's only a -1. So I'll fire at these guys, and I'll be able to hit
5.
5 because the guys in the open will be. I would be able to hit 5 because the guys in the open would. I'm paying the penalty for the covers concealment. So and I rolled horribly, missing everybody. More 6s than successes, I think, is a jam too. So I'll have to check into that. And then I've got a bolt action. Did we say? Oh, the bolt action was going to fire at this guy. So the bolt action is going to fire at this guy who charged.
You shooting those now?
I thought I already shot. They already shot.
Oh, they shot up there.
Didn't they?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm going to shoot this guy with the bolt action. 2 dice. I think you're at least in concealment there. 2 is good enough to hit. And he's 5.
It's 8.
+2 -1, so +1, 6. 5 + 1 is 6. -1 CV wound is the yellow one. So he ran forward, and for his efforts, he got shot in the shoulder.
4 will be him.
RPG can't shoot. Is that within 24? I guess we're calling that within 24 inches.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
So the SMG can hit him.
Shoot one guy, yeah.
He rolled a 1 and a 5. The 1's going to hit. And there's no modifier, so it's a straight up 2. I think that's
Pinned.
I'm going to throw a pin marker on him.
Yeah.
So he gets pinned. And then I think that's it. The loader and the RPG are not going to fire. All right. So that's the first action for the VC. So Howard is going to react with his first squad. The best guy is a
4.
4, which is good enough because the top is there.
Top's a 3.
Is he? No, the top number.
4. Yeah,
4
he's
for his
good.
fighting back.
So they can react. And I'll do these.
This guy's actually a separate role.
Because he's gone ahead.
Well, no. So you've decided to react with this unit. You've activated that unit on the reaction. You do them first.
Oh, you have to do it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you do your next
so what
group.
do I do
and
with
then
this?
you do your next
So
group.
I can shoot all of these into the bushes there.
Yep.
So
If you want. So you're -1 for shooting and concealment, and then another -1 because you're reacting. So you're actually at -2.
So I have he can't. So 1, 2,
he's
3,
pinned.
4, 5.
He's pinned, so he can actually fire. Right?
But-
Because he's only
but
pinned.
He can shoot that way.
Yeah, because he's a blooper. He bloops.
Okay. So I will shoot the blooper with this one. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't say he can shoot because he's shooting through his own guys. 3, 4, 5. I think that's 15 dice. I can't remember now.
Yep. It is 15 dice. I don't know if we've got that many.
12, 15.
And the blooper.
And the blooper.
And you're looking for 1.
2 hits.
And the blooper is going to deviate. Roll to see how many inches. And you can roll a deviation die.
Nothing.
6 inches straight back, so it's not hitting anything. And then 2 hits, and they're on random. So you've got 3 guys over there. So 1, 2. So there's 3 guys. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So roll away.
Just 2 hits, right? I'll re-roll that one. 2 of the
5.
same
So
guy.
the last guy, which is the corporal with the SMG, takes 2 hits. Roll to see how bad they are. So it's +2. So it's a 7 and a 4.
-1 CV and a duck back.
So I'll put them on him. So he gets -1 CV. And he gets ducked back, so he gets turned away.
And then that was
these guys?
These guys.
Now, so something you might want to think about doing, he could actually move over and
try and help these guys out.
make an out of action roll against the guy to find out what's actually wrong with him. So technically speaking, you'd have to roll a walk or a run move to make sure you have enough movement.
Walk.
And then he's got 6 inches of lots of movement. So then he would move over there. Now you roll on the out of action chart. So you find the out of action chart
Just
here.
for one figure, right?
Yep. So here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low is good on this chart. He rolled a 4, which is
Killed in action.
So he's actually dead. Is that the one you checked?
Yeah. Sad. But this guy's
So he rolled an out of action on the machine gunner, and the machine gunner was dead.
and this guy's dead too.
Yep.
So
So that was their reaction. So now you want to react with this gentleman who's up running away from everybody because he's his own separate group now. So he is a light wound. He starts out at a 3. He's a -1 for light wound. So you needed a 1 or a 2 to react with him. He rolled a 4, which is not a reaction. That group can react. The leader is actually a 4 with a -1 wound, so he becomes a 3. But he's still the best because everybody else is 3s. So a 3 or less.
Nope.
They do not react. And the gentleman up on the hill can't see anything. They're kind of hunkering down in the behind the crater, thinking, "What? There's fighting? I don't believe it. We're going to stay out of this one." So that's the American player's reaction. So now the VC will get their second action, which they've got everybody activated. If you remember from the first one, they're going to run these guys away. So they're going to roll 11 inches, which is these guys.
I rolled it, right?
And they're going to go 11 inches to the rear, so they're going to be behind that, and that's fine. So they're going to be up here, running away like the good NVA that they are. Is it all these guys up there? And this guy. And they're going to get behind cover. This unit can't do anything because...
Haven't spotted or shot.
But they could actually move forward
They could.
and into a position if we wanted to, which I think we are going to. Run forward
6.
10 inches.
10.
So they're going to run forward up to this. So measure like over... See, he wants to go over in there.
No penalty?
Well, he's going to kind of run around through the
Okay.
stuff.
He's the furthest. Actually, the least furthest. So.
So everybody else is in front of him,
Yeah, everyone's in front of him.
which is what I intended. That'll be up there. Something like that. They're gonna fire again, right? So the machine gun.
Firing to
Which one do you want me to do first?
whichever you like.
We
I'm
were
just-
talking about these guys are going to fire. The machine gun's going to fire down at. So we're going to pay the -1 penalty. So it's 6 dice. They're going to pay the -1 for those guys being in cover, so they can hit 5 guys. And they need. It starts at a 3 -1 for concealment, right?
3 hits.
So ones. So that needs 1s and 2s. You got 3 hits. And it's random, so you got 5 guys, right? So number 1 takes 2 hits, and number 3 takes 1 hit. Rolling the hits on number 1, he takes 2 3s, which become +3, so he takes 2 6s. Number 1 takes 2 6s,
He's
which
dead.
is -2 CV. And then number 3 takes a 3 + 3 is 6.
That's just one C. One
Yep.
CV.
You're going to put a -1. It's actually yellow, I think. But
I can't read it. It's yellow, right?
yeah. He takes a -1 CV wound, and he's ducked back already previously. And I think he's got a bolt action rifle. Oh, the bolt action rifle is going to fire at this guy running. Bolt action rifle is going to fire at the guy running. He needs your -1. The 1s and 2s, he gets 1 hit on him. It's a bolt action. It's +2, but you got -1.
It's not
So it's +1, so it becomes a 2.
pinned.
Pinned. He's already pinned, so that is no effect. He can't get worse than pinned. Can't get double pinned. SMG can fire at him too. SMG is a corporal. He's a 4 -1. His 3s. He gets 1 hit, but there's no damage modifier, so it's a straight up 2, which is another pinned, which is going to be nothing. And then the front machine gun, the corporal beside him is ducked back, so he's not going to be able to fire. So he's going to use his action to turn back around. And the machine gun is going to fire 6 dice. I'm going to do the guys on the hill again with a -1. And the guys that are in concealment, so we'll be shooting at these guys, will be -1 again. So that's 1s and 2s, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 hits.
So 2 hits with the 1s and 2s. Roll to see which guys it is. You're down to 4 guys now.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to roll 5 or 6 as a reroll. I rolled a 6, so number 2 and number 4 get hit. Number 2 takes a 4, plus 3 is a 7. It's a -1 CV wound. And what was the other guy?
2.
Takes a 5, plus 3 is 8. It's going to be a -2 CV wound. That's going to be shooting for them. And my last unit over there could actually do something if they wanted to, but they're
Well, he's
waiting.
separate. And these are separate too.
Oh, let's run the guy that ran out. Let's run him back, because that was my what the? No, because remember I'm activated. Everybody was activated from my. So he's gonna roll 9 inches back. So the guy's gonna run back. He runs back into the crater with his 2 pals, because that's cover, right? Plus -2.
Okay. You actually have to run. You roll, right?
At least half. So that brings us to the end of turn 2, and things are moving along. Quite quickly.